With that being said, thank you for joining the show. This is the End of the Bench podcast. As usual, I am big. I almost said I'm big Illinois. Oh my God. I am HRap B. I just carried out me and my man Ben, as you see, our pregame fist fight to the air with you guys. This is the End of the Bench, Build and Destroy. This evening we will be talking. This concludes what we consider a celebration of our history, and it is Black History Month. This will be the last show of Black History Month, but I am rebranding the End of the Bench, Build and Destroy. We're going to continue to have conversations every week about us and our history and the state of affairs, whereas I will continue to have panels, or at one point I'll be starting yammering again. But as long as this is on my spirit, I will do it that way. As you guys know, every week I must remind you, please stop telling me you miss my show. This is a podcast. It is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you go to Spreaker.com and look up Built for This Network, if you go to YouTube and look up The End of the Bench, THAENDOFDABENCH, you can get it there. You can get it on Spotify. You can get it on iHeartRadio. You can get it on Apple Podcasts. You can get it on Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, wherever you download your favorite podcast. All you have to do is look for this face, that logo, and you'll find us. But before we get the show on the road, what I would like to do is this: acknowledge my family. Every week, without fail, I acknowledge my ancestors. Without them, there is no me. Therefore, I give homage to them, and we move forward. That is everybody connected to the Pollard family, the Whitmore family, the Turner, Cotton, Battle, Harper, Bailey, Chris, Lansdowne, Ligon, Duncan, and as I state every week, twice a week, me, my mother, my father, my brothers and sisters, we are the Williams clan. We are in the building. Now, as I always say, this is what we do. I will be joined shortly by my main man, Big Illinois. He's coming in right now. And I got my main man in a little while. We will discuss the impact of the entertainment business on our community. I've got my man, Big Mo, jumping in. Thank you, Big Mo, for the support. What I'm going to do is, we'll give Microwave a few minutes. I will allow my man Ben from BS3 Sports and Entertainment to introduce himself. You already know Big Illinois, but he'll introduce himself and let you know how you get in contact with him as well. Ben, please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm Ben, aka BS3, part of BS3 Radio. We have a great collective of shows. And you can find me at bs3radio.com, all avenues of social media. We do podcasting, audio, and video. And HRap is a part of a show we do on Monday called The Forecast. So great to be on the show.
Great show, fellas. Hey, HRap, man, you didn't get the memo with the shirt with me and Ben, right?
Nah, he didn't get it.
But y'all, thank you for having me on, man. What's going on, fellas? My name is Anthony, aka Big Illinois. I had to steal that from you, man. But man, I host a show with HRap called the Backyard Podcast. We on hiatus, but I also do music shows, play slow music, get your groove on, and also I host a hip hop show, which I'm putting together. It's in the beginning stages, but check me out on Spreaker.com, Built for This Network.
All right. We have Joe from Houston checking in as well. We're still going to give Microwave a few more minutes. And as we stated, this will be about entertainment. We have a rich history in this country. Our history covers a vast amount of things. Please check out the previous shows. The previous shows were about just our history from a man's point of view. And then we did our history from a woman's point of view. And then we did it last week from a spiritual point of view and the significance of spirituality in our community, how it has benefit, can benefit, and it will continue to benefit us if we allow it to. And at that point, this leads us to this: entertainment. Entertainment is a very big part of our community. We'll just start now. If you're joining on YouTube, please, we would like you to hit the like button. The like button is very important. There's an algorithm that comes along with being a host of a podcast. And when you are a host of a podcast, we want to beat the algorithm. So we need you to hit the like button. And when you hit the like button, what happens is it puts us at the forefront of the algorithm and puts us in people who we don't see faces, so we can continue to bring you quality program. What I'm going to do is, since we're going to start the show now, it's no problem with that. We're going to move forward. And let me see. I am going to start the show with this. Entertainment. How do you feel? You know what? I'm going to start off with a question that's not on the list. And we'll move, hopefully Microwave will join soon, and then we'll move into the crux of the show. How do you guys feel about the state of entertainment where, as it pertains to our community? You can start Big Illinois, I'll go to Ben, and then I'll go to Ben next.
It's a good question. Entertainment at this time, it depends on what your genre of entertainment is, though. I mean, I feel like it's better as far as representation in some cases. You have Tyler Perry doing this thing. If you into that, you have a lot of more Black directors being able to take charge of their movies and their visions, such as Shock Up with Judas in the Black Messiah. Lee Daniels with the United States versus Billie Holiday. And that's just 2 movies that came out this year alone. Ryan Coogler, Black Panther. He got a 5-year deal with Disney where he got total creative control. Well, in regards to his property, but with the Marvel stuff, that's a different subject. But I think it's better representation. Do we have room for improvement? Man, we still got light years to go, in my opinion, because it's like the step that we take forward in movies and TV. It seems like the music is taking 5 steps backwards because of the content. So the state of entertainment at this point in 2021, as compared to say 1990, 1991. I would say it's an improvement, but we still got a long way to go.
With that being said, I want to acknowledge another person that came in the chat room, my main man Marshall, the creator, the proprietor, not the sole proprietor, Project Mayhem, one of the dopest hip hop groups in Chicago. Salute to my brother. Thank you for always welcoming me to your crew. Thank you for the support. Ben, if you like, you can add on what you thought about what Big Illinois said as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's two-sided. I think we have some guys that are doing things that are pushing us forward. I think there's some that are pushing us back, and some that is like keeping us in the middle. You talk about a lot of these shows we have, reality shows. It's not really reality. It's just a way to put like controversy in front of the TV every single time. You almost know when something's about to come up. So to me, that's they're getting their money. I respect that. But I think that's just in the middle. I don't think you're giving like too much quality, and you're not necessarily pulling us back, but you just, you're just doing your thing. Right. But I do think there's other guys that are doing great things. You look at a lot of actors that are doing movies that I think bring a different light to our culture and to our people. In particular, Viola Davis. Seems like everything she does, there's a purpose to it, and it's to shine light on the community, and she speaks and talks about that. Yeah. I think like what you said, Big Illinois, Ryan Coogler, a lot of the things he's done has been extremely well done. You look at Michael B. Jordan. So I think there's a mixture of it. I do think we are moving more so in the right direction. And I think some of the trash stuff is still going to be out there just because it's like a train wreck. People still want to watch it, but I think it's starting to fade away because the real stuff I think is going to more so come to the forefront, and the other stuff is gonna fade away. It's just like a revolving cycle.
You know what? I'm gonna stand right in the middle of both of you guys. There is a bunch of trash out there, and there is a bunch of high quality stuff out there. And with the music, I'm in total lockstep with both of you guys. The reason I'm gonna stand in the middle is this. I think we need to get used to bad quality from us. See, the thing is, we've been kicked in the head so long that we have this image of ourselves that we're the only people on the whole globe that if Ben robs a bank, Big Illinois and Ben robbed the bank, according to society. See, you see those podcasters, they rob banks. And we must do three things. We must first and foremost take sole control of our identity.
Yeah. And
when we take sole control of our identity, we can project out. We can do a reality TV show because some people from other cultures doing those same reality shows, and nobody is lumping in the entire culture into that stereotype. I think it's Housewives of Potomac and Housewives of Orange County. In those two places, there ain't no whole lot of people that look like us. Mm-hmm. So their entire culture, that does not encompass their entire culture. The second thing is we're going to have to continue to do stuff like this, creating our own media outlets like the African diaspora, hell, Willie D. Live, me, you, Big Illinois, and other people who are going to project a positive image and report on topics and have conversations like this so people can go, yeah, I saw that, but let me go see what Big Illinois, Ben, and HRap has to say. Once we do that, we'll be okay. And that's why I say the third part is we must continue to support the Ryan Couglers, the Tyler Perrys, the Viola Davises, the Denzel Washingtons, the Will Smiths, as well as, let's be honest, man, we like some of that ratchet stuff. Now, none of the guys here really watching a whole lot of reality TV, but all of us have watched some lowbrow entertainment and went, hey, that's my joint. And then if we were to be put in front of the world watching that, we'd be like, I ain't watched that.
That's true. We all like a mixture.
Right. So that's why I said, man, I'm gonna stand in the middle and but that's the beauty of it, man, that we have to have a high brow. We have to have a low brow. We have to have a middle ground because we are human beings.
Right. That's variety. That's variety too.
Exactly. I want to ask this question again, right off the beaten path, but it just came to me. Why do we care what we look like to the world? Because we know who we are. And every therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, and anybody in the world who is somebody, they'll tell you, as long as you like you, you're fine. Why do we care? I'm going to Ben, Big Illinois, then back to me.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I would say because that's what I was taught. I mean, every Black family has this conversation. Like it's three strikes against you. You got to look better. You got to be smarter. And you got to just be above all the stuff that's going to come towards you. So I think, it's just like you want to be presentable. I was always taught when you go into an interview, you dress to impress. You never come in there like halfway, like everybody else can do that, but you don't do that. So like, I think it was kind of like a programming. I don't think it was on purpose. I don't think it was, with wrong intent, but I think it was just like, be better. So I think the initial thought is always like, you don't want to put too much thought into caring what other people think, but you do kind of feel like, I want to be that better person. I want to be able to be better than the next person, which goes back to comparison. Like that's just something that as humans, we get so caught into, and we can't just stay in our own lane to be happy with what we're doing. And I think there has to be like a deprogramming with that. There has to be like, I'm okay with who I am. I'm doing my thing. Is it what the other person's doing? No, but that's what I'm doing. And that's the lane that, I think God puts people in. It put people in their own lane. It's just a matter of you being comfortable in that lane.
Yeah, I agree, man. Just like I'm quite sure, like Ben said, your moms or your pops always gave you that talk. Even your uncles or aunties, you want to represent your family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if I look on TV and I see someone acting,
a damn fool.
Yeah. Because the first thing that popped me on mind was like, why is they acting like that? And why do they be the first ones that get on camera? Come on, like me coming up, like if I came on this show with a wife beater on, you know what I'm saying? You probably be like, hey man, you can't find no shirt or nothing, t-shirt or nothing. But it's all about representation, man. Now the issue with that, which is a twofold issue that we have, is when we get on social media or we go onto platforms that don't represent us and we express that. So it's kind of like a Candace Owens, instead of, hey, let's get a group of like-minded people like us, and let's discuss this as a race or as a society. I'm going to embarrass you in front of white people, all the other races. I mean, that's another issue that we have in reference to that. If we do voice that displeasure, as far as if someone is acting ignorant, man.
Yeah, Big Illinois, that's a great point, because if we're standing on top of our soapbox and we're just talking to our white audience, which let's just call it like it is. That's the majority of what Candace Owens has. I mean, then it just looks like you don't like your own people. So we have you in this like mold, and we can push the narrative to you, and then you can push the narrative out to people that may not even be listening to you, but you're getting the narrative out there. So that's a really great point. It should be a conversation between us. I think, yeah.
Exactly.
I want to salute my big deal for this network, brother DJ Mad Knox in the building. Thank you for the support. It's always good to see you. Yeah, I agree with y'all, man. It's just that, you know what? To be honest with you, this is what I'm thinking. Instead of having that, we definitely need to have that family conversation. We had that cookout conversation. That's what I'm gonna call it. We're gonna have a conversation at the cookout where we're gonna talk about what's going on in the house. Okay. But I think we need to stop acknowledging the Candace Owens. We need to stop acknowledging the ignorant snack tooth dude, the Jerry Curl on the news. Because again, it goes back to, and I'm gonna make a point, and I'm gonna try to respond to this point. It goes back to the narrative that somebody else drew for us.
Yeah.
Candace Owens is hustling. Let's just get that out there. Whitlock is hustling. Marcellus Wiley is hustling hard because he's straddling the fence between the hustle and his pride, which that's kind of problematic as well. But what do y'all think about this? One of the reasons we have so many issues with what I call, I don't want to put my opinions on you two guys, but I call it white-facing media. It's the white face that media tries to put on us to get us to acquiesce to what's going on, right? But one of the reasons that we actually give a damn about what's going on in the news, because you can take this back to the 1800s and the 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s, and into the 2000s. The way the media portrays us has a direct connection to our safety.
Correct.
So maybe that's why we care so much. Would you want either one of you guys care to expand on that? I want to thank RC for joining the crew. Thanks, RC. Thanks for the support, brother. Please hit that like button. Please hit that share button if you can. Tell a friend to tune in.
Yeah.
Either one of y'all want to expand on that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I think it's the narrative is always let's go after our own. So Candace Owens is Black, African American, Hebrew. That's a whole nother story. But she is doing her thing. Like, she has built a lane of her own. She did not copy off anybody else. She's written books. I don't totally agree with everything she says, but some stuff I do agree with. But she's doing her thing. So the media, you're right, HRap. It's like, let's go against each other. Let's point the finger at each other, but not really point the finger at who's at the top of the food chain when it comes to the media, and who's able to pull those strings, put what's on TV, put what's on commercials, put what's in front of us. So yeah, I think that's a major point of it. As I think there has to be a way that I think all have to get to is to respect from a distance, or respect what they're doing. But that don't mean you gotta say, oh, I hate them or hate what they're doing. Just respect it. And I'm not gonna watch probably anything that Candace Owens is gonna do. I mean, I watched a couple of videos just to get her full perspective and everything. But I think it's like respect from a distance, and know that that we all have that inside of us to build a name for ourselves in whatever it is. If it's our job, if it's our career, if it's our media platform. And so I think that is a major point that we got to get to.
I want to welcome number one Chief Rocket Jersey for my bill for this network, brother. Thank you for the support. Much love to you, brother. Big Illinois.
Yeah, but like man said, it's some of the things I do agree with her on, and on some of the issues. But my thing is, if I have an issue with you and Ben, for instance, like, hey man, I don't like that background, and then I don't like that background, and that's too radical. We have a phone conversation, might have a Zoom conversation. I just I convey my displeasure, as opposed to me making a 2-hour YouTube video talking about I don't like. He has the Black Panthers in the back. They don't like white people and yada yada yada, to an audience of white people. So it's kind of like, okay, all right, I can understand where you're coming from, but stop profiting off of our misfortune, man.
You're right. I want to acknowledge Big Mo. I don't know if I acknowledge brother Big Mo, Tiger Park. He'll be on tomorrow. Thank you again for support. You know what? You know why I don't like Candace Owens? Period. I don't like anything she does. And if this is gonna make me sound kind of ignorant, but when I make the entire statement, you'll understand where I'm coming from. I don't like anything she says because she tells partial truths. If I say, like, if I was gonna give your life story, Ben, Ben lives in Dallas. That's the truth. But I didn't mention you come from California. That is the truth. I'm telling Ben's story. He lives in Texas. He has a family in Texas. His parents, I'm assuming, they're in Texas. But you're from Oakland. So if I don't tell the Oakland, it makes it seem like the only thing you ever been was a Texan. And that's why I don't agree with anything she says, because me and Joe from Houston was talking about this yesterday. And I'm speaking metaphorically because I get a lot of pushback sometimes when I just speak. So I'm saying this is metaphorically. We've been talking about the feds, and the feds have this. The federal Department of Justice, United States Department of Justice, has this reputation of 98% conviction rate. Subconsciously, you think if the federal agents bust in my house right now, put me in handcuffs, it's a 98% chance I'm going to jail. That's already embedded in your head. But the reality is that's propaganda. They come in my house, they grab me. They could be wrong, and they can say, "Look, Rap, we can give you 4 years of probation, or you can fight this and get 7 years in the penitentiary." What fool will go, I work every day. I don't have the resources to fight them. Therefore, I'm going to take this L. That's part of their conviction rate because of who they are. When the bully gives you half the story, when the bully says, I got 10 more bullies that's gonna beat you up every day if you don't give me your lunch money. You like, I'm just gonna hit this lunch money. So when Candace Owens makes statements like black people should get educated, but guess what? That's true, but everybody isn't built for college. Some of us need to be mechanics. Some of us need to be carpenters, plumbers, and things of that nature. So, yeah, you need to get a trade. So when you make that statement, it makes it seem like, I wonder what I'm gonna do. Well, I may as well get these food stamps and this public assistance because I'm black and I'm lazy and I'm trifling. That's why I have an issue with Candace Owens. Yeah. That's why I can't agree with her, because when you agree with her once, we know how the world works. If I agree with I'm a radical. I'm on my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, it says jolly, which is a storyteller, revolutionary. So I've been radicalized. It's not on me, it's in me. But I can't put that on y'all. You two brothers got the same kind of personality. Both of y'all are monotone. Both of y'all are strong in y'all convictions, but y'all are not as vocal with your radicalization as I am. So I don't want to put that on y'all, but we know the moment y'all say, I agree with you, HRap, everybody in the world who's watching is going to say, Ben is radicalized like HRap. And that's why I can't watch and or agree with her, because the moment a well-thinking Ben or well-thinking Big Illinois agrees with Candace Owens, it's a problem. It's a problem. Thoughts on that, brothers, if y'all want to.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, you're right though. She does a great job at spinning things. Like she'll take George Floyd for prime example and say, "Oh, we're just making him a martyr. Why do we always make the worst people a martyr?" Like, you took one situation, you didn't go through his whole life. You don't know what happened on that day. You don't know what you really know nothing about him. And I don't know this for a fact, but I'm gonna say you probably didn't do a lot of research. You just went straight off the dome and just did something. So I think that's that is a great point. And then also, like, just to make blanketed statements like we all need to be educated. I just wanted to touch on that point. Like, education, I've learned education is at different levels. Some people read books and they're educated in reading books. Some people go to school. Some people are technicians. But that doesn't mean that they have to run to a school, because, to be honest, going to a school, if you don't have a scholarship, you're paying back student loans. And guess who that goes to? The government. And guess what that does? That puts you in debt to the government, and you can't get away from that. There's no, like, I'm just gonna let that default. They will pull that from your paycheck until you die, and then they'll probably transfer it to your kids. I mean, that's like how ruthless that is. So yeah, you're 100% right, man. She doesn't really give you the full thing, but she gives it to what pleases her audience. Like that. That's it.
And you want to chime in, Big Illinois, before I start yapping again?
Oh no, I mean, when you put it like that, I do understand what you mean as far as you telling a half truth. Because it could be like, I'm allergic to seafood, for instance, and you be like, hey, you know what? I like such and such. I like lobster, and I nod my head. If people not really paying attention or know that I'm allergic to seafood, you might have somebody sending me seafood platters just because of that. And her crowd, her audience, 90 to 95%, I believe, is all white people or other races, because they make comments like, there's somebody that know exactly what she's talking about, or she's well versed.
And it's like and the thing that I noticed is like, oh, she's the spokesperson for black people. No, hell no, she's not the spokesperson for me. I'm sure she's not the spokesperson for either one of y'all. So like, that is the thing. Like, because you're black, and like HRap was saying, it's like you're the spokesperson for everybody. Like, you didn't consult with me, you didn't consult with Big Illinois, you didn't consult with HRap, and you probably didn't consult with a lot of people. So like, and the thing is, I haven't watched all of her stuff, but how many times does she say this is not about all black people? This is about a percentage. This is about certain people. This is about a percentage or a small percentage. This is not about all, and this does not speak for all. And I haven't heard her say that once. So it's like you just continue to build up on this platform that you built.
And that's my issue with it. That's why I won't give her anything. See, that's one of my issues with our community. We will argue with a canvas on, and we know. I mean, look. At the end of the day, this is
can't change your mind.
Yeah, we can't. So why am I talking to you? Okay, you're right, Candace. On to Angela Davis. On to Angela Rye. Hell, on to Angela Yee. But not you.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to have a conversation. One of the issues with the conversations is something that RC brought up. That's the issue right there. We often disagree without cancel. We often can't disagree without canceling each other. Exactly. We cancel the wrong people. I don't have a distinct religion. I know it's a higher power. I know it's a greater power out there, but I'm going to respect everybody's point of view. You're Muslim, Christian, Jehovah's Witness, so forth and so on, Catholic. I'm going to respect that because I need you to respect me. And we don't do that. We will cancel HRap because he's loud. He's bombastic. I could be giving you the gospel, but because you don't like my personality, you don't deal with me. On the other hand, you'll listen to Owen. You'll listen to like this is the question. Here's the question. Why do we even give the Candace on the airtime? Because I feel, shout out to Karen Hunter, shout out to Dr. Greg Carr. I feel that we need to be creating a safe space for us. And that safe space will buffer out the Candace on, will buffer out the Don Imus, will buffer out the Rush Limbaugh. It will buffer out all those people because guess what? They ain't listening to us. No. And when we do, they spin it. And I'm gonna hit a couple other comments before I let y'all speak. RC says, I don't have any use for Candace on. My man from Project Mayhem says nothing more dangerous than a lie with a half that contains the half truth, and nobody else has made anything that was pertaining to what we said. Why don't we create those safe spots? My man John, shout out to my man John. Mad respect. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Tess. Thank you.
I think it's actually, you know what? I really can't answer that because I really don't. I kind of block it out, but I click on it like that. The one she's talking about George Floyd, because I'm like, what is she talking about? So I watched it, but pretty much I kind of block that stuff out though. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people will probably click on it because it's popular. They look at a lot of people, believe it or not, watch YouTube stuff for the amount of views. Oh, this got this amount of views. Let me click on this. I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't really engage in that, man. Once I sense that your narrative, you actually trying to profit off of the stereotype, those people pretty much I'll probably like tune out. Like they'll come up on my YouTube thing. But I don't. I touch it every once in a while, like when I'm bored, or if it just go to the next video. Mm-hmm. That's how I discover a lot of those cats, like Officer Tatum, Jesse, and he's a whole nother subject. It's a few other cats. But
speaking of Jesse, amazing that you brought it up. Shout out to Lady J for joining us on Spreaker. Thank you, Lady J. Thank you for the support. Please hit the like button. Please hit the share button over there as well. Jesse used to be super pro-black on Phil Donahue. But guess what? You get this much money for being pro-black. You get this much money for hating black folks. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's all like clickbait, you know, like and kind of what HRap said at the very beginning. Is this an algorithm? And if you figure out the algorithm, you can get your stuff in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. Like if you know how to work the system, you can get it in front of everybody, which then gets the people clicking on it, which then allows people to find out more and more what you're talking about. And then you start going down this rabbit hole of just stuff that people say that's not even true, like QAnon. Like you just go down this you just go down this rabbit hole of stuff that makes absolutely no sense. There's no real proof, and you don't even know who the person is. So like that this goes to that. Now, HRap, I did also want to mention, like, you know, who gave her like the platform or the voice. I don't think it was given by us. I really don't. I think it was given by someone else, and she was given that platform to just say, hey, say what you want, because we know the stuff that you're going to say is going to be our narrative, and it's really not going to help your people. Like it's just going to cause more, I think, frustration. And the last thing I'll say is this: like when you see stuff like that on George Floyd, this is like that was like immediately after. It wasn't, and it's like the wound is still fresh. So like I was hurt because I was just watching this like, hey, this guy has a family. He's a human being. He's someone that people look up to. Someone that has kids. Someone that people care about. And you just trash this guy for absolutely no. What was the purpose of that besides to build up your viewers? What was the purpose of tearing down a person that's already dead, that cannot defend himself, and his family's heartbroken?
And as we down this, since this is about entertainment, we no longer have news. News is no longer entertainment. You want some real news, you need to go to C-SPAN. They give real news on C-SPAN still, because they're still publicly funded, they're governmentally funded, so they're forced to tell the truth. If you're looking for the news on MSNBC, you're looking for the news on Fox, you're looking at CNN, that's entertainment. So I'm gonna need my folks to stop going over there. If you really want some news, go to the African diaspora. You want some news, like I said, Willie D Live, follow Ben, look up Ben for BS3 Sports and Entertainment on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You come over here to build for this network, you listen to me and the #1 Chief Rock of Jersey Fire. Knox just got a line on his show. So if you really want some reality, you go to Real Cast, you go to X Squad, where me and Ben started at. That's where you go, because we actually give a damn. And we, again, a Jolly is a person who may not give you stenographer style story, but I'm gonna give you the story. And shout out to, again, Dr. Greg Carr and Professor Karen Hunter. I'm gonna leave some breadcrumbs. I learned that from them. Leave the breadcrumbs, and then you can be an intelligent enough adult to put yourself in a position so you won't hurt the culture or the community or black folks or the Nubians or the Hebrew Israelites or whatever we want to call ourselves, the people with the nappy hair or whatever we are, whatever we are, whatever you want to call us, that's what we are, the brothers and the sisters, the kings and the queen. We are not here to hurt anybody. And of course, me, Big Illinois, Ben, and anybody else doing the podcast trying to get rich, it's all get out. But not at the expense of our souls or the souls of our people. They'll drop her like a bad habit once they no longer have any use for her. Yeah, that's from my brother RC. That day is coming soon. There ain't a lot of people out there buck dancing and shucking and jiving no more, RC. She probably got another decade.
Yeah, because it seems like she was a Trump hater at one time, until that campaign or the Republicans giving her money. She claims she's not getting money, but she's somebody paying them people, man.
Yeah, she's getting something.
Yeah, she's getting something for that.
This is how she gets paid. This is how she gets paid. She has that book deal, and she put out those self-hating books, and those billionaires buy 1 million of those books. Because when you are one of the Koch brothers, one of these super PAC people, you buy 1 million of those books, and then she's at the top of the New York Times list. And then because CNN and Fox and all those people are money-driven organizations, guess what happens? We got bestseller author,
right?
The Scarecrow on here, and then she get on there and spew all that self-hate, and then the situation continues. That's what happens. Because look, if anybody doubts what I'm saying, all you have to do, if you live in a major city, go to a secondhand bookstore. They got Candace Owens books stacked so high you wouldn't believe for $3.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is go to a secondhand bookstore. Or better yet, you don't even have to do that. Start by your local library and see if you can find one of the books in there. You can't.
Hey, remember I didn't do that, those 99-cent CDs? That's
right. They're right next to those. Number one, Chief Rocky said, I don't mind someone trying to educate our people, but to talk down towards us. So, but she talks down towards us. So to me, it's nothing but trash, and she's using the platform for the devil. Exactly, man. And you know what? I like the way Chief Rocky put that. She's using the platform for the devil because we always assume that the devil don't bless his folks too.
Oh yeah,
the devil blesses folks.
Blessings go both ways. Good and evil.
Right. The blessings are, not just, hey, Ben is a great guy and he was on HRap show and 40 million people subscribed the next day. The devil blessed him. Whether you believe in that or not, that's what it is. I got my sister DJ Purpalations, built for this network, sister in the building. Much love, DJ Purpalations. Thank you for the support. But okay, let's leave the shucking and jiving where it is for now.
Yeah.
She didn't shuck and jive enough, and we gave her way too much pub. Back to the raw entertainment of it. 3 years ago, I read this article that explained why the sister who created Grey's Anatomy, I can't think of her name right now. She also did
Shonda Rhimes.
Sister Shonda Rhimes, and a lot of other people on TV are starting to get shows. The reason it is, our community watches TV more than any other community in the United States of America. That's why Steve Harvey's on TV. Shout out to Steve Harvey for purchasing the rights to Family Feud. And now he got Family Feud in Africa, and it's the number one show in Africa. Big ups to Steve Harvey. He doing his thing. Big ups to him.
That's dope. I didn't know that.
Not yesterday. So he got 1 billion people watching Family Feud, so he gonna have $1 billion in his pocket real soon. Shout out to him. With that being said, you got people doing mad, super dope things in our community. But I want to ask y'all this question: are we truly getting a fair shake in this world of media in regards to TV, movie, music, so forth and so on?
Are we completely getting a fair shake? I think it depends on how you get the opportunities. Right. As I think there's a lot of opportunities that come where you have to play the criminal, and that's how you get in. You gotta wear a dress, like you gotta play someone that's homosexual. Like you gotta do those types of roles to get into the door. Now, depending on how your opportunities come, like if you're working on Fruitvale, which was the movie by Ryan Coogler, and he had Michael B. Jordan in there. If you look at if there's opportunities that I think that are fully Black funded or majority Black funded, I think there is a fair way in. So I think it depends. There's some of both. I think a lot of opportunities, we are not only getting opportunities, but we're taking over with the opportunities when we get further along. So Denzel, Will Smith, a lot of these guys are now directing and producing movies, which is then going to be able to give the next Michael B. Jordan an opportunity or the next Denzel Washington an opportunity.
Yeah.
I agree. It's just like with Issa Rae. She started off on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That girl. Shout out to Issa Rae.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler he's young. He's like what, 34, 35, real young.
Yeah, he's not old at all.
Yeah, it's the opportunity, man. I mean, because you have I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, man. I should look this up. The young lady that started the HBO series, Lovecraft Country.
Oh, I can't remember her name either, because she created the Underground show too.
Yeah, she's going to be writing the next, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Captain Marvel 2 movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, so it's starting to be more recognition, but this is off subject from this, and maybe we was to talk about this later. Tyler Perry, for instance, he write, produce, and direct all of his content.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he can start a division where he can get some writers in there or some other directors.
Mm-hmm.
You still produce it if you want, but yay for him being a billionaire. But I think it's instead of having the people in front of the camera, it's people that behind the camera that can do more, in my opinion, that I don't think is still getting that fair shake, man.
Misha Green, Big Illinois.
Yep. And I think with Tyler Perry, to piggyback off that, you know, he's got that studio like in Atlanta. He's got like a whole compound, and I do believe he has people working like behind the scenes because he's got. I mean, I didn't realize how many shows he's got on BET. I mean, like he's got so many different shows with different people and different perspectives. So I mean, I think he is doing that to a degree. I don't know how far he is, but I think he is doing that.
Yeah.
I want to shout out to the homie for Bill from XY Radio. The homie D Gray just showed up. Thank you for the support. Please hit the like button and share.
I'm sorry to cut you off. What RC just said, she's about to be off SportsCenter, man, because people that call on to her.
Yeah. She's RC said Sage Steele could replace her. Yeah, but you know what? Sage Steele is gonna do what Robin Roberts did. She's an educated person. She's well connected. She's gonna end up on like the Today Show or CBS This Morning or one of those shows. That's where she's gonna end up. Because again, I don't want to associate you guys with my radicalized speak. She plays into white facing media, and again, the opinions that are expressed are not the opinions of the guests or for Bill for this network. They are exclusively HRap B's opinions. Please don't attach my opinions to my friends and co-hosts. Thank you. Yes, you know, but again, because I don't want my radicalized opinion to be pushed off on you guys, and it's still a fight that we have, and I just don't want to be pushed off on y'all because I am far more bombastic and radical than you guys. You guys probably have a lot of the same opinions. Y'all just don't present it the same way. That's why I have so many issues, and y'all don't. But the reason he said that's why he mentioned her. He believes she's headed to Fox. I concur. But with that being said, I love the way you guys brought up Tyler Perry. I was thinking Tyler Perry. But since when I was listening to you guys, I love Tyler Perry, man. I'm not a big Tyler Perry fan. I think Tyler Perry kind of catered to women. That's a sticky situation too. But I do think his storylines I like almost like.
That's who watch it mostly.
Right? Yeah, right. He got like a romantic comedy kind of feel, and
that's his lane. Yeah,
that's his lane. But I agree with Big Illinois. But what I would like to add to what Big Illinois, I'm not going to disagree with anything that either one of y'all said. What I would like to see Tyler Perry do is add some additional divisions. But instead of Tyler Perry, you got enough money not to always go to BET because BET is not us. How about this, Tyler? You go to Magic Johnson Station. I just gave it to Big Illinois last week. He didn't even know about it.
Aspire or something.
Aspire. You go to Magic Johnson or go to Diddy Station and pitch those same shows because we need to be getting behind that. Oprah Winfrey is your home girl. Get some of them shows on the OWN network so we can start watching those programs there. That's the only way we will truly get a fair shake. Because if we don't own, what's Diddy network called?
Revolt.
I was gonna call it Revolution. I don't know why. Man, love the Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever you're being called this week. And start going to our networks. That's the only way we're gonna get power. Which leads me to another question. I know these are not the questions that I asked, but we having a conversation, which is even better than the questions that I had. At what point if we want a fair shake, do we stop chasing the bag and just get paid? Either one of y'all can take that. Because, the bag comes with compromise. Compromise comes with our inability to do what we want. But guess what? If I can get $4 million an episode, if Tyler Perry put $4 million an episode in his pocket from BET, how about taking $1.5 million, go to Oprah, and then when it bubble, you get the 4 instead of just always chasing the bag. Does that make sense to you guys? Am I crazy? Let's have that conversation.
I mean,
Go ahead.
you're not crazy. It's just I think it depends on where you at that stage, though. If I'm Misha Green, for instance, and Marvel offer me potential to produce or write a movie that's going to almost be guaranteed close to $1 billion, I would be more. I would probably rush to take that deal as opposed to taking on a TV show like a revival of Good Times or something. I'm just throwing something out there. So I think it depends on the stage of your
career,
your development or your career, man.
Yeah. But see, I'm not talking Misha Green. I'm talking Shonda Rhimes.
The guys that are already there.
Yeah, I'm talking about them there. Because it seems like we get the bag, and then we never want to stop getting the bag, because if Shonda Rhimes and Tyler, they don't have to take any more big deals.
Right.
What they can do is take a little deal with Oprah, Diddy, or Magic. We flock to it, and then.
Right. It's just like the stock market. Like you put it into the stock market. So yeah, if I'm at that stage, yeah. I mean, I'll probably spread myself out then. They'll probably be calling me the
Samuel Jackson of production.
Right. Yeah, but if I'm they're like Oprah, for instance. You know what? She got that. She can branch out and do other things too. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the it's the mentality of just how you think and what you want to do. What's your long-term plan? That, and honestly, that may not be in some people's long-term plan, and some people may not want to be having their thing that they have to manage, because that could be more responsibility. I mean, there could be a lot of different reasons. I agree with you though, and I think just like what we're seeing, like HRap has been preaching for the longest with the HBCUs. Like, stop trying to go to Ohio State. Yes, you get to the league, but if you can go to Jackson State, do the same thing, ESPN is going there now. Okay, when Deion got there, I think that was probably one of the biggest things that could have ever happened to HBCUs, because now they're going there because Deion said, "Come here." They weren't going to go there because the Grambling State coach was there. They were going to go there to see Deion's team, and then that kind of has evolved into other things. So there's definitely a way to go about it that way, because like we one of the questions that you had, I think, was relating to Black people in entertainment and how involved, or how we got into it, or how involved we are. But yeah, we make this thing go. Like, either you copying it, either you're doing it, or either you're trying to do it. So like, yeah, we don't have to go that route. The thing is, though, it takes patience, and it may take a little bit longer. And not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people have the patience to say it's going to take me a couple years instead of next month, or instead of this deal that I got on the table. So like, that's the reality of it, I think.
And I don't even want them to turn down the deal on the table. But we used to watch Dallas. We used to watch Falcon Crest. We used to watch Dynasty. And Aaron Spelling did all of them.
Yeah. True.
So if Aaron can do it, you can too, Tyler. You can go to BET, you can go to Oprah, you can go to Diddy and Magic. And quadruple the bag, So I just don't understand. And that is the very next question, Ben. That is the very next question. Where would the world of entertainment be without us? Jazz, bebop, rock and roll, the Motown sound, funk, soul, the crooning of the early 80s, the falsetto, early 80s, hip hop, New Jack Swing, what is it? New Jack. What came out? Neo Soul, and then let's not forget Harry Belafonte. Hell, when they was disrespected, you know what? I got a question on that too. Stepping fat shit, and then Harry Belafonte and our ancestor Dorothy Dandridge, to our brother Sidney Poitier, and so we go through the history of all this. We there. What would entertainment be without us?
I got 2 words: boring and corny.
Yeah.
That's it. It wouldn't have that soul. Like, that is just something that God has given us. Like, I don't think anybody has a real explanation for it, but that's just something that He has given us, and it brings joy to the world. It brings happiness. Like, you can put on a song. Like, when you going home on Friday, a lot of people got that song that they play. Man, I was playing that Nas, that King's Disease, like, on the way home, and I was just like, man, this music it just puts you in a zone. So yeah, I just think it would be boring and corny, and it probably wouldn't have reached the plateaus that it's reached.
Yeah.
I mean, we create everything, man. To put it blunt, man, we the mother of everything as far as entertainment. I mean,
mother and the father.
Yeah, rap. Think about it. Black exploitation movies. They even took pieces of that and created movies like Tango and Cash and those silly type buddy cop movies and all that. And let's not even get on rap music as far as what they done took with that.
Those propaganda movies.
Yeah, soul music. I mean, it'll be a boring sad world.
Propaganda movies. Yeah, I totally agree, man, and that's why. Shout out to Big Mo. He just left a comment. We need to start our own streaming service. What? Christ. Yes, but y'all right, man. That's why I don't understand why we continue to subject ourselves to the tyranny of the dominant culture. Because me and Big Illinois look older than you, Ben, but a lot of people are gonna remember what I'm about to say. This commercial, just something simple as when they used to do the 70s old gold, and it was this one dude. He was like, my father used to tell me, turn off that music, and it was a white dude. He had a mullet and everything. He was like, but Dad, it's Smokey. That's late 70s, early 80s, talking about Smokey Robinson, and we all know what the racial divide was during that period. We were leaving a radical 60s, 70s was tumultuous, or I hope I'm not butchering that word. I think I am, but who cares? But you cannot have great entertainment without us. To the point, we are so dope that y'all put on blackface and imitated us. Like, y'all could get us to do it. Hey, we run out of ideas. Let's just
they got us to sing and put their picture on the cover.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? The thing with entertainment, though, I mean to cut you off, though. The thing with entertainment is kind of like music. You'd be surprised how we are like, for instance, I watched The Big Bang Theory. It ain't no black people on that show, but I like it. But I guess it's all subjective as far as what your taste is, though. Now it's up to you to say, like, I know now, lately I've been like, if I see a show now that don't have any people of color on it, and I'm not talking about those white girls with the lip injections that's trying to look black. Like, somebody that don't have no people of color in it, I don't watch it, man. It's just like now with Netflix, I pay for Netflix and I only watch like 1 or 2 things a month for Netflix. Because if it don't have no black representation in it, I don't watch it, man. Because I think in the year 2021, we still shouldn't be having that problem, man.
That's true.
And you're right, because I enjoy Frasier. I enjoy Seinfeld. I
Yeah.
enjoy Cheers. And when we talking about stuff like that, you know what really annoys me? As much as we love our folks, and as Big Illinois says, as we get older, we don't want to see shows without our folks. It insults the hell out of me when I turn to Seinfeld and I see them inject the black dude. Or the black dude on Cheers.
Black.
Yeah, he was a fake Johnny Cochran, and then they had the mailman, and then it kind of insulted me because Cheers was one of my favorite shows at the time. Well, I like to hear what y'all got to say about this. They insert the mailman who Cliff Clavin snitch on for stealing the samples of cologne, and I'm like, the only brother on this show stole from me.
Yeah, really. That's the one role that you consider to put him in.
Yeah, man. I was like, y'all gonna make me stop watching, man. It's just, but yeah, like y'all said, man. No matter what brand of entertainment it is, look, y'all can try y'all best to shut us out. Y'all not, because do you want to watch football in the 80s without Randall Cunningham? Do you want to watch football in the 70s without Tony Dorsett and Franco Harris? All throughout the 80s without Walter Payton and LT? No.
Forget that. Forget that. Do you want to watch the NBA in the 80s
Right.
without Magic, Bird, the Pistons, the Bulls?
Watch the Iowa Hawkeyes now. Sorry if you got some Iowa Hawkeye fans. I'm sorry.
They know.
They got to be the brothers of y'all team, man. I'm sorry.
RC said he stopped watching Seinfeld after after Michael Richards showed out. Yeah, it was kind of hard to go back. It was kind of hard to go back.
Yeah, and I didn't really know about Seinfeld. I've never really been a fan. I mean, I watched a couple episodes and was like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, it's and all depends on the era. Like the era that you, obviously you guys are somewhat in a different era than I'm in. And then you got the younger, generation, what they're watching. So and that goes back to sports and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it seems like what goes through America's head when they try to exclude us like that? Because it's like, I don't even want to. You know what? I'm not going to ask that question for one reason, because I tell my son not to ask questions like that. I say, hey, BJ, if you figure out stupidity, you might start being stupid. So I don't want to figure it out. Shout out to BJ, man.
That's good.
Chief Rocket say he really don't watch. He don't really watch regular TV shows. It was some good TV, Rocker, but I'm with RC. If you watch it and then you see one of the stars in real life call you that magic word that we all embrace, but we hurt you about it, you can't watch it again. Can we change this representation of us in the world of entertainment? And if so, how?
I think we can change it, and I think we change it like kind of what we've been talking about is by creating it. I mean, by doing it on our own, but also I think getting in upper roles where you say, hey, let's not have this brother play a criminal. Let's not have this sister play like the stereotypical roles. Like I'm here so that you guys can have a different perspective and do it so that it's well represented of the Black community. And I think so. I think it's both sided there.
Yeah, and I would say be in charge of the creative process as well as being creative too, man. I don't want to see every time it's a Black ensemble and it's another best man. I mean, get creative, man. I mean, go into space every once in a while or something. Find the mothership or something.
You know what, Big Illinois?
Be creative, though, man.
Watch this, Big Illinois. I'm not saying that we're supposed to like everything that the brothers make, and then I'm gonna address some things in the chat room, and you can respond after that. Then I go to the chat room. But what Eddie Murphy did there with Pluto Nash, we dissed them as a community.
I didn't.
No, as a community.
Oh, as a community, yeah.
Because when you say Pluto Nash to a black person, man, that was stupid. But what you want? You want Pluto Nash in the hood? What you want?
It's not a lot of creativity, man. It's
right.
like when you watch a lot of those movies, it's they either a record producer, drug dealer, or a stripper. I mean, not all the population is those three things, man. I mean, get creative, man.
Yeah, like that's huge right there. And one thing I learned with doing, trying to build the YouTube channel is like you can't just do the stuff that you've been doing. Like you gotta bring something to the table that somebody hadn't seen. That's why I respect. You mentioned her, Insecure, and like that show is creative. And then as you can see, she puts music, in between the show, stuff that I haven't heard before. Mm-hmm. Like stuff that's like, oh, what is that? Like, I want to look that up. I want to hear that. I want to get that on my playlist. So yeah, that's a major point. Like, we can't just say I'm putting out something that's black, but it's either corny or it's not creative, and you're like, why'd you even put this out? Like,
exactly.
And I've seen plenty of movies like that on Netflix where it's like, why is this even on here?
Yeah.
And I think we can record this right here and put it on Amazon Prime and say it's a black TV show, because they'll put anything on there.
Yeah, and it's unorganized on
man. Like, who's running this?
Everything on that, from the Moors to the little gangs that was only good for a week.
Right. I'm like, are they gonna paying these people for this? Y'all can't be paying people for this. But Project Mayhem said, he said he was surprised to see that Kelsey Grammer was the producer of the TV show Girlfriend.
Yeah, he was.
Criminal in itself. Shout out to Kelsey Grammer, because that was a dope show. But why is Kelsey Grammer doing that? That's a Spike Lee joint. That's a Eddie Murphy joint. That's a whoever joint.
Didn't they pitch Girlfriends to NBC, but they end up creating Friends?
No, that's Living Single.
Oh, Living Single. Okay, I know it's one of them.
Ivan says, money talks, BS walks. Exactly. Pool our resources. Pool our resources. Financial institutions, real estates, and studios. Exactly. Ivan also said, how about a black-owned film school? That works. Joe said something, we gonna kick him off the show if he ever write that. I'm not even gonna kick Joe out the chat room, because I'm not even gonna say that.
Well, that was so the most offensive shit.
Yeah. Joe, you know what? You suspended from the show Tuesday for saying that. And then my man Ivan, one of our co-hosts from Forecast on Monday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, he said, don't come for Amazon Prime. Ivan,
Yeah, it'd be all types of stuff on there, man.
I bet you we don't do a whole lot of reviewing of Amazon Prime movies on Monday. I love Amazon Prime, but no,
bro. I used to watch a lot of movies back in the days, especially a lot of like horror movies. And they had this movie on there I used to like. Now that I watched it, like last year, it was horrible. It's called The Stuff.
The Stuff?
It's about this yogurt that was from outer space that they was mass producing, and it was killing people, man.
What?
It's
I
called.
have to look that up right now.
I saw it the other day.
It's called The
What?
Stuff. Man.
1985, yeah.
I'm like, damn, they got this. I watched it. I'm like, why the hell did I watch this movie?
Yeah. I saw it the other day. I was like, this is that joint. It was horrible, Ben. It wasn't worth watching. Don't do it.
Yeah, hey. I'm looking at these clips right now. Like, what is this?
Hey, it was Pootie Tang in reverse on steroids. Imagine Pootie Tang was a movie that was supposed to be bad. The Stuff was Pootie Tang straight out. Like, hey, they gonna like this,
man.
Okay, we coming up on Oscars and Emmys and Golden Globes and Silver Buckets and Grammys and American Music Awards and everything else.
Silver Buckets.
they giving out everything. should we actually care?
I think
I would say yes. Not from the standpoint of we're getting a award because we did something great, but I think just for the lower generation to see that, I think it's important for that. But also, like, that gives us an opportunity to continue to put good things out. I think because when people see, oh, they're getting this award, you may get another opportunity somewhere else. You may get that deal, with another like 4 movies or something. So, yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, man, when it all comes down to it, everybody want to be recognized for their hard work, man. Okay. I mean, I don't know if you want to sell yourself out to get that recognition by bashing other people or whatever, but I mean, if I created something and it was up for an Academy Award or Golden Globe, I mean, I feel proud.
You know what? My answer was going to be no before I heard you guys' answers, but I'm going to say yes as well, simply because of what you guys said. That acknowledgement leads to other projects, and those other projects put you in the space. So we can do what I just said: open up Black-owned film school, produce our own products, create our own entities, so we can be successful without. I'm gonna stop saying it because that still encompasses you guys. I can say these are my ideas as much as I want, without the mainstream media being involved. Am I wrong for saying A Night in Miami was a bit overrated? No, you're not, RC. No, you're not. No. This is the brother RC. And that's the thing, man. We got to get to that space. We don't have to agree with anything. And because I'm so passionate, because I'm so bombastic, people think I try to change their mind. No, I'm just standing on my platform. I mean, I'm just standing on what I believe in, and you stand on what you believe in. And like me and Mayhem and Rello, you know Rello, both of y'all know Rello. He know him personally, and you know him from the show, Ben. We used to sit literally, bro. We used to be in the barbershop so long, we would order food.
Yeah, y'all did.
We would play cards after we close and drink, and the debate never stopped. Cats was waiting on me to yell and scream at me. So that's the culture I come from.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay to disagree. Like, it's okay. If you agree with everything, it's a lie. It's a flat out lie. If you agree with every single thing, and so to RC's point, the movie was in one space, the entire movie, and they went up to the roof, and then they went to the bar, and I mean, it was like 3 kind of screenshots. But I think, it's not bad to not like something. It's okay.
Let me explain why. Because it was a play.
Yeah.
No, I mean, That's
why it's only 3 spots, because it's a play. That's why I heard somebody criticize Mom's red bottom
because
black
of the
bottom
format.
for the same thing. It's a play.
It's a play. You don't have that many spaces to go.
Has 2 or 3 spots. That's why they do it like that.
Right.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people like Fences, for instance, that Denzel Washington movie Fences. A lot of people didn't like that because it was the same format, because they are based off plays. But it's just with The Night in Miami, I can watch all types of movies, but it's like for some reason with that, it just didn't hold my attention though.
And you know what? The reason those plays hold my attention, because I know the author's story. That's a brother who dropped out of school in 9th grade because he saw the racism in the education process of the United States of America. Went and damn near read the library and wrote plays speaking in our dialect. Shout out to Miss Ethel Adams, my 7th and 8th grade teacher. She taught me that. Speak in your dialect in your community. Mm-hmm. So August Wilson made those plays to speak to us. Ben, I'm assuming he's never been to Chicago, but if Ben showed up at the barbershop with Mayhem or Big Illinois crib or a country crib last night, he gonna start talking, he may not identify the slang directly, but he'll use context clues, and nobody would know he's from Texas. And I can go down to Texas, and we can go out there and kick it with D Great, or we can go up to Jersey, kick it with Knox, or come down to Atlanta and kick it with Rocker. And I think that's why I appreciate those plays more. And it might be my information about August Wilson. And then what really made me like Mom's Black Bottom more is I found out before August Wilson transitioned, became an ancestor, he walked up to the dude who directed that in the 80s. He said, you're going to direct Mom's Black Bottom. He said, okay, let me get the script. He said, I ain't wrote it yet. It wasn't even a play. Mm-hmm. So when you find out those kinds of stories, it kind of make you embrace it. And to Big Illinois' point, I like that because, like, I heard people, oh man, they should have showed our folks in that light in Fences. But that's real.
Yeah.
How many our grandmothers, how many funerals we go to? Oh, that's granddaddy, other son. Other son. That's how married for 75 years. Yeah, 65 years ago, we had him.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's those Fences is good to me, man.
Right.
And I think that goes back to creativity. Everybody's creativity is different. The way you present it. I mean, I think that's just the greatness about movies and about entertainment is that everybody has their own spin on how to create it, how to do it, how the dialogue is. So, yeah. And RC makes a good point right here in the comment too. I always want to see more of a backstory on people in movies. That's always like my thing. But it's a movie, and the idea is to make you watch the whole thing thinking there's more. And then when you're at the end, you're like, oh, that was it. But that's the point. Like the point is to have you on the edge of your seat, have you continue to watch something through the whole movie, expecting more, wanting more.
I got a question for you two guys. With that being said, going forward, going forward, should they no longer, this is off the beaten path, should they no longer do biopics? Should we use Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and other sources to do bio series so RC can get that? So
I would say yes. I would say yes. Marvel's doing that right now. Like Wanda series is a prime example. Falcon and these things aren't like there's not gonna be a season 2. Like they did this because we haven't had Marvel in a while, so they're giving you some something to kind of feed on. But I agree, yeah, like use that area to be able to make a series about it because people want to know more of it.
Yeah. Salute to J. Ron in the building. Thank you for joining us on Spreaker.com. Hit that like button, hit the share button. We still Spreaker. We still built for this network. We just on YouTube as well.
But yeah, to piggyback off there, like that's a prime example. Like they taking a comic book series runs and making it into a series as far as a movie that people probably wouldn't go watch that. But while it's a series that you can watch and it's explaining, it's more better. It's just like Malcolm X, for instance, can be a whole series.
Yes.
They could have made actually the movie A Night in Miami could have been like a little mini series, man.
Mm-hmm.
They can still do it. I mean, like it can still happen.
Because it was just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, for that to be her first time directing, I think she did an excellent job. It's just that it instead of focusing on those, it focused on the two of them more to me than it did the collective of them. And I understand it's an ensemble movie, and I like the fact that she did make them audition. That's why a lot of people didn't want to actually even read for the part because they felt like, hey man, why should I audition for this? Hey man, we want to make this a traditional movie, so you need to audition. So,
well, technically not her first time directing. That's her first feature film.
Well,
Yeah, she used to direct. She directed several episodes of American Crime on ABC. And let's not forget, she used to muscle behind Watchmen.
Man, what? She was a producer on Watchmen too.
I think she was the director on some of those episodes.
Okay.
So but you're right. That's her first feature film. But she's been a director for quite some time. Shout out to Regina King, man. Regina King is representing for the culture big time, and we got to give her peace. Because she go from Brenda Jenkins to a heavy hitter.
She's been in this game for a minute.
Yeah.
227. Yep.
I already know the question. I ain't got to open up my phone. The question: how should we show up at the box office? This plays into what our RC statement. Should we support because it's black, or should we support because it's good? Or should we rush out there and get it, man? Like, we gonna get you this money.
Go ahead.
No. I'm not paying $20 to go see Soul Plane or
Snakes on the Plane.
That one that just came on Netflix, Marie, and the one with John Roberts and Zendaya. I forgot her name. I'm not going to pay $20 at the show to see something like that. I need to see somebody die or cussing or some shit. But no, it's just because it's a black person. It might be something that I'm not interested in. I mean, I kudos to you for being able to create your vision, but I'm more of it's certain movies that I go see, and there's some that I don't. It don't even matter if it's all black.
Dawkins got jokes, I see.
Yeah.
We ain't ever raced before. We need to do that. We can do that live on the forecast on Monday if you want. Anyway, I would say I think it's a medium, because I think some things like Black Panther, like I was gonna see that regardless. Like I didn't. If it was bad, I would have been disappointed, but I was going to see that regardless. I think there's some that I think we will see regardless, but I think there's some like I don't know yet. I mean, and that's okay. Like what's the point of? And I don't like that sometimes where it's like y'all need to get out there and support this. Like I don't even know what this is. Right. Like what is this? I mean, the preview to me, I didn't really like it, and I'm not and. Like to go out to the movies nowadays is not really, it could or could not be the best of ideas anyway. So I'm gonna pay $12 a month, and I'll watch your movie on HBO Max. I'll watch your movie when it comes out. But yeah, I'm not one of those people that's gonna run to the movie theater to watch anything and everything.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is a conundrum that we face, that we're not getting the dollars behind our joints the way we should, and then you want to come off on some goofball stuff. Like we said, we want some creativity, but when you got Soul Plane, you like, really? You knew that was bad. You knew that was bad.
Why did
the title? The title said this is a bad movie. When you saw Roseanne husband, he was like, RC finna get on me, but it's two people. It's one person it's two people in our community that it's pretty much gonna be a bad movie. And actually, I'm gonna say one. When you see Fred Williamson in the movie, it's a very good chance it's gonna be a bad movie. If Fred Williamson is starring in a movie,
he's been in the movie. What's the last movie he was in, man?
What?
What's the last movie he was in? Original Gangster?
Hey, boy, that's the only movie in the history of cinema that I walked out on, and I had free tickets. And me and my cousin Curtis, man, we was like, man, we need our money back. We saw that, show you how long ago it was, big dog. We saw that the Chestnut Station. And that joint ain't that no more. RC. See, I knew RC was gonna say Black Caesar. Nah, Black Caesar is cool because we like black exploitation movies. He's horrible. And Bokeem Woodbine, in some type of way, his son, Bokeem has stepped his game up. If we go through the lineage, Bokeem is a Williamson. But it's this one brother. He got Fred Williamson and Bokeem beat. And that's that brother that played RZA in the Wu-Tang saga.
Who was that?
Exactly.
That's what I was gonna say. Who is that?
He played the RZA in the Wu-Tang saga. He played the dude, the painter in the Equalizer 2. And he played one of the Black Panthers in Judas and the Black Messiah. That boy is garbage truck juice. He can do that story. I'm not gonna go see it. His name Alshon something or other. He's horrible. So he is the poster boy that we don't have to go see everything.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Dark skinned brother. He's horrible. He couldn't play dead in the cowboy movie. Yeah, we like those movies because we are sentimental.
Ashton Sanders.
Yeah, Ashton Sanders. He's horrible. Hey man, we like them exploitation movies because it was on us. You know, what's his name? Calvin Lockhart and Red Fox and all them. We like that. We love, but if you wasn't black, you wouldn't watch those movies, man. That the movies got soul. They got us in it. You got Mario, was Melvin Van Peebles. He made that good. But Fred Williamson couldn't play Fred Williamson in the movie. Y'all know I'm not lying.
He couldn't play himself in the movie.
If Fred Williamson is in the movie, look how far they had to go back. 3 the Hard Way, Hell Up to Harlem, and From Dusk to Dawn. No, man. We 5 decades later, and a whole other century. Y'all got 4 movies from Fred. So hey man, Fred Williamson the Hammer. Salute to the brother, man. Yeah, man,
the guy that you're talking about, he played the kid in Moonlight, right?
Yeah, that was him.
Moonlight. My biases made me not see Moonlight. Shout out to Michelle.
No, you know what though? I watched Moonlight because when it came out, the description of it didn't tell you anything about what it was about. But it was actually it wasn't a bad movie though.
I heard it was a good movie, but they must have kind of let me know the plot.
Yeah, because I didn't know what it was as far as what was going on until I'm like, okay, this.
Yeah, I was like that with the Green Book.
Like this is
Yeah, I haven't seen Moonlight at all. I mean,
they did a description.
Yeah, I was like, the Green Book got me too. That was a good movie too. The Green Book was a very good movie. Very good movie.
I never watched that because that kind of looked Driving Miss Daisy.
Driving Miss Daisy, like it did.
Hey, he was Miss Daisy though, literally.
Oh, oh man.
Rudy Ray Moore couldn't act, but his movies are hilarious. Yeah, but see, Rudy Ray Moore, as you saw in the Dolomite joints, him and the Eddie Murphy joints, he was trying to be horrible. He knew he wasn't an actor. He was gonna make it funny. But hey, man, shout out to Fred Williamson, man. I'm just glad the brother got some money out the deal because.
Hey, Joe said Fred Williamson killed it From Dusk to Dawn, man.
Hey, Joe, don't show up until 5:45 next show. No comment no more, Joe. You about to get fired. So, okay, we talked about this a little earlier. We talked about music and everything. What should we do about the music that's being played? First of all, let me preface this with this. I don't have an issue with mumble rap because when I listen to mumble rap, I hear my mother talking. That ain't even music. They just talking about Run DMC. So it's not for me, right? But what should we do about the violence, the obsessive violence in movies, the lack of variety, the raunchiness, the disrespect? Because it's amazing. you can't say that F word, you can't say that B word to women, but you can say that N word, and you can't objectify white women, but the B's and H's for our sisters. And another thing, and then I'm gonna shut up. Where's the variety? And do we need to get on top of this as a collective community? I'm listening.
That's a loaded question. It is.
Because the reason why I stopped saying that these cats was whack, because I don't understand what's going on.
No, I'm not talking about the ability. I'm talking about like me and you.
I'm talking about the music is whack. Not just
okay.
I'm talking about the style of music is whack. So, I mean, I guess you can look at it as like when the first time you heard Potholes in My Lawn.
No. That's not the question I'm asking.
I'm just trying to make a point as far as the first question that you had.
Okay.
When I first heard that, I was like, what the hell is this crap, man? What is these dudes talking about?
Yeah, I remember that.
What is Pushing Up Daisies? What is this crap? What are they talking about? As I started listening to it more, I was like, oh, okay, the cat's kind of dope. Now that haven't happened with this mumble rap or whatever, drill, whatever it is. This stuff, this shit is terrible. But I don't know if what we can do, because once they sign up to these record deals and these A&Rs is telling them, you got these people in these high rises that's giving them money, telling them what they should be rapping about. They say that they rapping about what's going on in their hood, but when does it click in your brain? Yeah, man, we need to change this. Maybe I need to talk about something different. You never hear.
That's not really the thing. I'm talking about. See, I don't mind them talking because it's not for me. It's over my head, like you. What I'm talking about is the actual radio stations. I need some Big Illinois to be played. I need some Ben to be played, and I need some skibbity bibbity bibbity bibbity.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get to, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
The radio stations is the same people that's telling them what to listen to. So if you feeding that vibration into the airwaves, that's the only thing that people are listening to. Of course, they're gonna continue to pump that shit out. We can boycott by listening to it, but we're not the target audience, though. The target audience is these 10 to 23, 25-year-olds and white kids. So we can boycott it all we want. It's not gonna make a difference. In my opinion. That's just in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's extreme. It's going to be extremely difficult. I mean, what I think we can do, number one, is put out a variety of music. I think that's number one. That's good music. That's number one. But a part of that is it's hard to kind of fix what's being played, because it's like so much of it just being funneled. It's just like it's like on an assembly line, or if you ever worked at UPS and it's got that thing that just goes down, it's just like it's just sliding there, everything that they drop. So I mean, I think what we can caveat that though is drop good music, but also again get into these roles where you can control what music is being played. But it's gonna be extremely hard to do, because that's what people want to hear. I mean, and I'm one of those where I don't really listen to it either. I know we all kind of said that, but that's their thing, and people like it. I mean, so like I'm not gonna listen to it, but people do like it, and that's how they make their living. But I think it just goes to getting in roles where you can control what's on there and making quality music that can possibly supersede the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can. I think, you know what, again, the skibbity bibbity, I'm never gonna like that nonsense. You know, I don't like DOS effects, so you know I'm not gonna like this foolishness. So, but I harken back. I know it's a different time. Though please don't think I'm stuck in a time warp. But I harken back to that one lady that almost got one of the biggest shows in the history of TV removed from TV. One woman started a campaign and almost got Married with Children taken off Fox. I think as the parents, grandparents, and so forth and so on, I think we should demand variety, because I don't think we realize the power that we have as consumers. You don't want this to happen? All you have to do is start an online petition and send it to, let's say, who the biggest sponsor of Hot 97? That's Hot 97 FM, then Dallas and Chicago. The two biggest sponsors. We can go start an online petition of just parents. Y'all gonna play some Erykah Badu in the midst of this nonsense, or we ain't listening no more, or we gonna tell our kids not to listen. If 500,000 people in Dallas and 500,000 people in Chicago say that, Erykah Badu gonna be playing, gonna get played. Yeah. And we should exercise our power as the entertainees. I think we don't pay attention to the power that we have, period, especially hearing Bad and Bushy, cooking up, cracking up. Dog, the reason this bothers me so much, I'll never, my son is 27. One day, me and BJ riding down the street, and I'm feeling proud that I don't have to drive. You can drive, and he glad to drive. But we always had a family rule: whoever driving controls the radio. And he playing this music, and they were cussing, and they were saying, talking about all type of debauchery. And I grew up with 2 Live Crew, man. I was one of the first people to like the Ghetto Boys. And when they were saying that, I was like, BJ, man, look, man, take that CD out, man, and play the radio. He said, this is the radio. I was done. So I think personally we can control that more, but I don't think we know the power of consumption. And remember, consumption used to be what they call diabetes, and it was eating you up. We are eating up this nonsense that they're forcing down our throats. I think we need to take control of the radio because, hey man, without us, there is no WGCI, there is no Hot 97, there is no Ricky Smiley show. They'd be playing some country and western if it wasn't for us.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And it would definitely have to be a collective front. It would have to be definitely a movement behind it. So yeah, you're right. You really make a great point. We can control what's being heard and what's being listened to.
Right.
Will that happen? Will that happen though? I would say no.
I think it can. But see, that's why I think we, as the adults in the room, have to step up. Yeah, because we can say, come on, dog. Everybody on here is at a minimum a parent. It wasn't no CD, bro. It was WGCI. It was insane. And we weren't playing Mayhem, but nah, I wish we was. But I don't even know if it was some of that skibbity bibbity nonsense. Let's shout out to the man from Project Mayhem. I think we have that power. If we can get statues taken down because George Floyd got murdered, and we can get a national holiday in the name of our ancestor, Dr. King, if we can put enough pressure for them to at least placate us and try to make Juneteenth a holiday, we can get a radio station to start playing all. I'm not saying no skibbity bibbity. I'm saying 2 skibbity bibbities an hour. This old skibbity.
I gotta say, when you say skibbity bibby, you sound like 90 years old. You sound about 105 when you say skibbity bibby. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
What? Like, okay, for whatever reason, I love that thing that they doing this on the internet. That I can't tell you one word that little boy's saying.
I don't know what he's saying.
Like what are you saying?
Yeah.
This dude play some MC Hammer.
MC Hammer.
Inside joke.
MC
Shout out to Killer.
Started.
Our homie Killer, he can't listen to no more rapping to June. That's what he was saying last night. But yeah, man, it's just we got to have some level of balance.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's be honest. All of us have messed around and typed in the wrong thing, ended up on Pornhub. You know, yeah, a lot of us have done that. You was going to Sandwich Hub and end up there. You know, so we're all adults, but it has to be a way to. What's the word I'm looking for? We have to be able to curtail some of this madness, man. We do. Yeah. I feel that from the bottom of my heart. I just. Whew.
But you know what, though, man? The reason why I say it'll be hard is because we can protest all we want, but some of these artists gotta put their foot down and at least, hey, man, you know what? I don't want to talk about Percocets and murdering motherfuckers. I want to. I don't want them to all be on the song sounding like when Tom and Jerry was friends and it was making that music that. I don't want them to be on. But you know what? I want to hear some. You can spit some rhymes. It's still okay to actually spit some rhymes to make people think. To a Bobby Shmurda beat, for instance, like that beat we listened to last night.
Hey man, I didn't hear one word he said.
I'm just saying, like, if you could spit some rhymes to a beat like that, without, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. It's gonna take a while, man.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of what you're saying, Big Illinois. There's gotta be some personal accountability. Mm-hmm. It can't always be we gotta try to prevent this from happening. What if Bobby Shmurda? What if all these other cats is like, man, I need to elevate my music. Like, yeah, it's making me money, but it's degrading my community, and it's also telling them to do this stuff that more than likely I've never done before. That somebody maybe wrote for me. So like it goes hand in hand. At some point, we gotta grow up and like realize that this is helping you, but is it helping the whole? And you got to look in the mirror like, man, this. I mean, I can continue to make this music, but what is this really doing long term? So like that's got to be a major part of it.
Mm-hmm. It's just like with Colin Kaepernick, for instance. Them cats failed him in the NFL, if you ask me. But you know, it'll be the same situation though. You might have Ice Dre from off 69th in Cottage Grove. He might stand up and be like, "Hey man, I'm not making this music no more." But everybody else like, like he down for that. Man.
See where I differ from y'all is I don't mind Ice Dre. I don't mind cold knife in your back. You know, I don't mind that guy. I just don't want a whole hour of shot your mama. You know, MC shot up the block. You know.
Yeah.
Can we get some shot up the block versus hug a bunch of brothers and then sister with some sense versus stank hole? And I need a mixture, man.
Yeah.
That's even in the R&B people who I think they be singing, but they all sound like they singing in a little tube.
Auto-tune.
I need variety, man. If you want to be Sister Stankhole, my booty bigger than yours, okay, cool. We all was rocking the WAP, whether we want to say it out loud or not. You don't know no words, but everybody seen that video. That video got about 400 trillion watches. So I'm not saying you can't make one.
I watched it a few times.
Right. But what I also want to hear is Harriet Tubman from the sister from South Carolina. I can't think of her name right now. Can't think of her name. She had one of the best albums last year.
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. Why is she not getting any play, man?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What's the girl? Sark RC. She was just on my man Talib show. And then Cardi, then Meg, then Rhapsody, then MC shot up the block, then some Common and some Talib. Like, that's what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
I ain't saying, hey man, y'all need to step up, because guess what, dog? They still make porn, but they make porn and they make Night in Miami, Booty Talk 58, and I know a little too much about porn, though.
I'm laughing at what you're saying, Booty Talk.
That's actually a series.
I think they passed 58 now. If they do still do that, though.
Yeah, but you know, that's what I'm saying. They got. That's what I'm saying. It's okay to make that. I just don't want to. I don't want to turn on HBO in the middle of the day and see booty talks.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see. I want to laugh. I want some Humpty Hump. I want some Red Man. I want some Scarface. I want some De La Soul. I want some. Even though I didn't listen to him. MC8, some DJ Quick, some Snoop Dogg, some Badu, some Anthony Hamilton. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I think it's unreasonable to ask those guys to not make their music, because that's what they do.
I got
some other guys out. Kendrick Lamar's making good music too. Cole is making good music. Blue is making good music. Raz Kass is making good music. I need a mixture. That's all. I remember at one point in our life, me and Big Illinois, again, we were a little bit older than you, Ben. I remember at one point in our lives, we used to have to sit there with the tape on, record, and pause, and wait for a rap song. I shouldn't have to do the same thing waiting on a good song, R&B or hip hop.
Yeah.
You know.
I got a question though. What role do, as parents, say if we got any minors under 18? You know what? I wouldn't say 18. I would say under 14. That's the high school age. What role does that play as far as the situation too? And the reason why I asked that is because I used to be a huge CMW MC8 fan.
Yeah, no.
I saw this movie called Rhyme and Reason, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
This punk ass motherfucker said, me up, man. Because it actually shouldn't have messed me up, because I didn't think about it. I was just thinking as a fan. He said that he moved his kids out of the hood because he didn't want them to listen to the music that he was making.
And but see, Big Illinois, that's my question. Should we start policing these radio stations so when MCA say, I ain't finna let my kids do that, we not finna let my kids do it either? Yeah. Not all the time.
But he's steady making the music though.
Yeah, but again, they still making porn. We're not gonna stop it, but there are certain boundaries. HBO, even that fake porn, that don't come on to 11.
What? You got boundaries, regulations. There is not one. Yeah, you could be driving to work and you'll hear any old song that should not be played in the morning when kids are going to school.
Exactly.
Because HBO then used to play R-rated content before 7 p.m.
I don't know
if they still do that since there's so many HBO channels, but they used to play R-rated content before 7 p.m.
That's why I'm stopping you early in the question. I wasn't saying get rid of that music. I was saying Where are the parameters? Shout out to DJ Nunu. Thank you for the support. Much love on the Spreaker.com side. Please hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, please hit the like button. Please support. And if you feel like help us keep the rent on, help us keep the internet on, help us keep the lights on, production costs, cash out if you like. Help a brother out. Where the money reside. Where the money reside. But I'm gonna get out of hatchback. But see, that's all. That's really what my question was, Big Illinois. Can we, should we, or why don't we? All three questions.
Yeah.
Pressing these entities for well-rounded music instead of if you ain't got on no draws, come over here. Like at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
No, that's all.
You're right. You're right.
Well, it looks like this is gonna be the last question of the night, unless y'all want to keep going. I got a couple other ones, but unless y'all want to keep going, y'all can let me know in the private chat. Clown, get me off this show. But the name calling, man. Y'all know the names that are being called by people in our culture when we don't make the movies that everybody likes, or when we steer off the beaten path with content. You get called the C word or things like that. I even, in my exploits in regards to Black empowerment, I even had a former Black empowerment leader say, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I ain't going to Sammy Davis Jr. for nobody. How do we correct that?
So that's a good question. I mean, it's got to go back to that person. Like, we don't know that person's background. A lot of times we don't know how they grew up, what their parents taught them. Like, all of that stuff is a factor in why we make decisions the way we make decisions. It's not just like all of a sudden one day they just started being that person. That's just something that might have been, ingrained in them. And like we talked about, there is difference of opinion. I don't think that's a bad thing. Now, when you're belittling the community, or when you're basically just talking about someone, or you're talking down on someone, or you're being an a-hole about something that if there's like nothing to back it up, then yeah, I think that's a problem, and we need to point that out. But if it's something you don't agree with, I mean, everybody has a matter to their own opinion.
Yeah, I agree, man. Everyone should have their opinion, and we all have different opinions, which that's the good thing about entertainment, YouTube discussions that we have. Now, when it comes to belittling someone, I don't think we should do that on a public forum, especially in front of other races. I mean, we shouldn't do it, period, but especially in front of other races, because that kind of continue that stereotype, man, that we can't get along and we'll never be able to accomplish anything. So, definitely, I would probably never say, if I do say the N-word, as people say, if I do say that, it might slip. Like, I never say that in public. Like, I've been knowing that dude, about, I'm 26. I'm 26. But, for a while, I would never call him the N-word in public. Like, we might say it like if we like smoking cigars, but even then we don't really say it too much like that. Definitely, I'm not gonna call a man a coon or a stepping fetching or whatever the other names are, crispy or whatever the names that they call each other. Because to me, it just shows division, man. And then that's an issue in our community, man. We have to show some type of family, some type of structure whenever we get on and do. Like, I love the fact that when y'all had that, when y'all was reviewing the 190 Miami, we need more things like that, because a lot of people that's on YouTube that's reviewing movies or music and stuff like that, they don't look like us.
And they're doing it by themselves.
Right. They don't review movies like that, man. So I think we need more stuff like so. Big up to you, brothers, man. I meant to tell y'all that day, man. Big up to you, brothers, man, because we need more stuff like that, man.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate it, man. I totally agree with y'all, man, because I'm tired of the name calling and the back and forth. And why are we having family conversation in front of the world? At the end of the day, you wouldn't cuss your mama, your brother, your sister, your aunts, and your uncles like that publicly. If your sister made you mad, she make you mad, and you leave her alone. And then and then you go behind closed doors, and you go to your other sibling. Man, Ben pissed me off, or man, Anthony pissed me off. But it would never be, wait till I go online. I'm cussing Ben out on my show, and we do it consistently. Which leads me to another question, which is this.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, the AOL.
I think the white man's trying. Yeah, right. AT&T. Well, there's enough, clown. Yeah, this is gonna be the last question since my AT&T. Since they get somebody in the back doing like this. This show's getting too good. When did podcasting turn into gossip columns?
So I'll because that's like it's almost like that's what people want to hear. So people just gravitate to that. But also I wanted to go back to the other question just to make a point too. Is what was the previous question? I was gonna make a point. Now I just forgot what I was gonna say. We were talking the name calling. Like when can we get to a point where we can have an intelligent conversation without saying you a coon or you this or you that? Like, let's have a conversation. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. We can agree to disagree. We can walk away and say he doesn't agree with what I agree with, but oh well. I mean, you can never talk to the person again. You can still come back and talk. Like, why does it doesn't have to always be like, oh, that's who you are. Like, just because a comment you made, this is who you always are. That's who you're always going to be. And that's what I'm going to call you. Like, just have an intelligent conversation. So I just wanted to say that real quick. But yeah, podcasting is evolved so much. It started off just being people, everyday people, getting their voice and be able to talk. And then it became everybody and their mama got a podcast. Stars have a podcast. It's almost like why do you, I mean, it's there, they can do what they want, but like that's for the smaller guy to be able to get their voice out. But it's blown up majorly. But yeah, the reason why it's become a gossip column is that's an easy thing to do. You don't have to prep for that. You don't have to write questions down for that. You can just hit live and just start talking. And like that's the reason why, because it's easy. It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, because it really shows the worst of us. And again, it goes back to that getting the bag thing. And we will get the bag at all costs. And we act as if we don't see the bag is really costing us.
Right.
And the podcast that I listen to, they don't really do that. But I notice time and time again when I go to YouTube, I see 1,000,005 people, 47,000. Like me and Big Illinois knows this guy. And then at one point, me and Big Illinois knows this guy. And he has a podcast. And for whatever reason, I'm not a subscriber. And his podcast came across my timeline. And he has 21 views, 16 views, 18 views. And then he has a celebrity on there talking about some of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. And he had 20,000 views. And I was like, and he's had the dude on twice that I've seen. And both of them got 20,000 views. And I'm like, I'll just struggle. I'd rather just work with you and the brothers at the other networks that we're familiar with, and anybody else, promote other people versus doing that.
Yeah.
So it's just, I love, at the end of the day, man, I'm going to do that in my part shot. You send your part shots out and Big Illinois, you can do the same. and then I'll close it out. And I'm gonna say what I was about to say.
Oh, on me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Promote your shows.
Oh,
please.
yeah. Appreciate you for having me on, man. I always love the conversation with you. I'm always learning something new. This was a great topic to discuss. So coming up on Monday on the forecast, we will be reviewing the Little Things, the new movie by Denzel, Remy Malek, a lot of great actors in that one. So we'll be reviewing that. Actually, tonight I'm gonna be doing a show with a motivational speaker. His name is Jay Hunter. That'll be coming on at 9 Central, right here on YouTube on BS3 Radio's YouTube channel. Go to bs3radio.com. You can find all the content there, and always great chatting it up with you guys.
Thank you very much, Big Illinois.
Hey man, thank you for having me on. Thank you for having the conversation with your brothers as always, man. Catch me on Fridays, actually Thursday nights. I changed it because I've been hanging out on Friday nights, so I've been able to do my show. But Thursday nights, do the Backyard Podcast Slow Jam sessions. Saturday nights, the Hip Hop Show. Usually it's at 8, but I don't know if I'm doing it tonight. But and, I'm pushing for the second Wednesday in March to start back up on the Backyard Podcast.
All right, man. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in. New Max Radio to MCDE to the Truth Radio, Real Cast Radio. Why can't I remember X Squad? I'm sorry. I apologize to Kesey. It's not. Trust me, brother. It's nothing personal. I got so much on my mind right now. I want to thank everybody in the chat rooms. Thank you guys for being on here. Shout out to Microwave, man. He was having issues with the software. No harm, no foul, good brother. I ain't got no issue with you. You always been 100 with me. You text me and let me know, so it's no personal thing. I'm gonna have some more topics in the future. You'll be on those. Thank Jay Ron from Canada. You know, one of our big supporters, man. Jay Ron comes in all the shows. Thank you, Jay Ron. And like I was saying, I was born into this community activism thing. Both my parents, as you know, if you listen to my story or show more than once, you know both my parents were community activists. To Truth Radio too. Sorry, Nunu. Thank you for the support as well. You know who my family is. You know my history. So I really love being us. I love being Black. I love supporting Black. I love buying Black and everything that comes along with that. So my goal is to make sure we are a better place every time we every time we hit end broadcast. I want us to be in a better place. But that's why I go so hard. And if I come off as brash or you think I'm abrasive, it's not that I disregard other people's feelings. It's just I put a lot of work in my show, and I want to give you as much information that you can use and have it be useful for you and the betterment of your day and life. One thing I will request from everybody who will listen to this currently and tuned off and will come back, please stop using this terminology. We're not a monolith. We are in a bad situation as Black people in the United States of America. And when you tell people who are diametrically opposed to our happiness, we're not a monolith, you arm them with information to try to trick us in another way. If they keep coming at us just like this, let them keep coming at us that way. They get real close and we step to the side. That's all I would ask for anybody in our community. We don't have to let them know that we're diverse. If you're too stupid to realize that we're human beings and we do not act, walk, think, and eat alike, we just breathe. We just breathe and have to have sustenance. That's the only thing we all have in common. Let them think that. So, man, I love everybody who listens to my shows and support our shows. I need y'all to support being all those networks that I asked you, I saluted. I need y'all to either go to YouTube or Spreaker.com and support those, because the complaints that me, Ben, and Big Illinois, and RC, our Chief Rock, and everybody in the chat rooms have expressed to us, we are trying to fix those. Each show, motivational speaking, Big Illinois with the music, DJ Knox with the music, number one Chief Rocker with the variety. Everybody else who on here, we trying to make every day better. So as I end every show, I salute everybody who listened, and I salute the dude who actually gave me the courage to do it. me and my mom before she passed away. She told me to do it, and listening to him, they gave me the true courage to do this dude named Reggie O'Shea, aka Combat Jack. And I say what he said at the end of his shows, every show: dream those dreams, and man up, a woman up, and live those dreams. Because life without dreams flows in black and white, and life with dreams flows in technicolor surround sound. And I need everybody to stay on top of things, because if you ain't on top, you're going to end up at the bottom. 2 fingers, 1 word. This your man, HRap, and I am OUT.
Peace.
All right, my